First, I'm going to start with a winch bumper. I'm going to go pick up a winch for this bad boy, especially after we had some sketchy situations up in the mountains. Probably good to get a winch on her. I drew up a few concepts I like. I really like the Tactical Rover's bumper and the ARB. Found some specs on those, so I went and picked up a 3/16 sheet of just steel, and now I've continued to cut out my design out of cardboard and have it pretty well figured out to the design I want. So now we're gonna cut it out of the 3/16 and then start piecing it together. I'm doing triangle sides to give me more wheel clearance. So I'll box it in with 3 equal triangles on each side. The middle is a large rectangular section, raised in the middle for the winch with the fair lead. I've all measured out, so it should go pretty well. Just using an angle grinder, nothing fancy. So we'll go through a few wheels and annoy the neighbors, but should be good. You can see here actually the flat plate that's going to go on 4 rails coming off of, 4 3/16 plates are coming off of the frame, and I'll box those in. So it's going to be really strong, using the same bolt holes the original bumper went on. And then the sides, I did 3 exactly the same triangles, so that the sides are a upwards triangular shape coming from the middle, and then the one on the bottom, and then those will be boxed in, giving me maximum wheel clearance. I'll have no problems with the 32s I have on now. I could go up a size, well, a few sizes if I wanted to. The hardest part was actually cutting these out with the angle grinder. It was taking like 10 to 15 minutes per cut depending on what I'm cutting. These were like 10 minutes. The big boy was like 30 minutes, so I'm sure the neighbors hate me right now. But I got them all cut out now. So I'm going to tack some stuff together. I actually tacked the front plate on to the base plate just with a flux welder. It won't be strong enough to hold it with the winch and everything. It's not the final thing. I'm just seeing what it looks like, and then I'm going to take all of this, number everything, so it'll be like Lego, and bring it to my friend's welder, who is a welder, and I'm going to use his TIG welder, and we're going to finish everything up to make it super strong. And then we'll gusset everything as well, because the Disco is 4,500 pounds, plus you add a rooftop tent, or you add a roof rack, and it gets pretty heavy, and last thing you want to do is go to use your winch and it just bends the bumper first time. So we'll gusset everything, probably use some tubing on the bottom between the 2 frame rails too, to make sure there's no bending upon pull. But for right now, I'm going to drill out where the fair lead will go, and then tack in all these sides so that I will have the full bumper in its shape, so that we can work out where I should put the gussets and everything. And then I will number everything, and then we'll have to bring it over and fully finish weld it there. Yeah, just going through the anatomy of the bumper I made just to show before I put it on. I started obviously with the big cutout here, which will hold the winch, and that was probably the hardest thing to cut. And then I did 4 equal pieces that will sandwich the frame the same way the original bumper mounted. I then did 3 triangles, all the same length, to box in the sides, and they turned out quite well. You really have to be careful on those ones to make sure they are pretty much the same, so that they do fit up nicely. And if you did a cutoff wheel like me, that can take some time. I then did this flat piece across that's at an angle, so 2 of the mounting points are cut at a 45, and then the outside ones I kept straight, and then sandwiched and welded another piece on so it's double thick, so that I can put a shackle mount through those. And then this also really added a lot of rigidity to the whole shape, so I'm pretty happy about that. Obviously my fair lead will go in here and it covers up the unevenness of that, but I'll flip it over and show you guys the rest. And on this side, you can see I haven't finished painting, it's just primed in a lot of it. But on this side, I boxed in where the winch will go in here, and then also gave it more structure for the outer wings, which are all boxed in on either side. I need to sand this down. Went a little crazy with the spray gun. Took a while to really nail the exact same angle back into the sides from each side triangle, but if you take your time and don't rush it, it turns out pretty good, and I'm really happy with the way it looks on the car. So now I'll just finish up painting it. Here's the final product of the bumper, and I'm really happy with it. Turned out exactly on how I drew it and wanted it to be. Looks great with the satin black. The welds were really nicely grinded out, so it's all smooth. Max clearance for the tires, 2 shackle mounts, and it also mounts the frame the way the original bumper did. I made a little license plate holder for my license plate, but overall super happy. Yeah, that's the end of the project, and it turned out really great. It's exactly what I wanted. It looks like I imagined it, which is a pretty good outcome given my experience with fabricating. It's been on for 3 weeks. The winch is on now, and that's all lined up great. I actually have had a few questions about it too. Which is always nice to know that your work is also appreciated by others. But it's definitely harder on the spectrum of projects I've done, but it definitely opens a whole new door for more on the Rover. I think roof rack will be next, and then we'll get into more and more larger projects on it until I get to probably the final goal of engine swapping it. But that won't be for a while. So I hope you liked the video, and stay safe out there.